Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Today we're going to do a Divine Masculine check-in. Let's all take a moment to ground. Deep breaths. Thank you for being with us, Spirit. What is the masculine collective confronting at this moment? What are the blocks showing up, and what are the solutions to those blocks for the highest and best good of self and the planet? Anything else we need to know? Okay, we're going to start right off with new beginnings in reverse. Anything else? Thank you. We got a bunch of flippers. I'm going to take all of them. We have reconciliation. We have passion. We have animals in reverse. And we have fertility. All right, I'm going to start. It's funny, even though these are a lot of powerful cards, the message feels a little flat. So let's check out what's in the unconscious position, transformation in reverse. Some of you are putting your effort, masculines, into something you think is going to give you an outcome that's going to push something forward, but actually what's going to be the thing that moves the needle is something you're not going to see coming. This is a false shadow, so it's not what you think it's going to be, okay? We'll return to that as we get into the message. Masculine, something is preventing you from, not something, okay, sorry, it's coming in pieces. Bear with me. Okay, what I said is true. Something is preventing this new beginning from being launched, initiated in your life, and it's your connection to your instincts. It's your intuition. There's some feminine energy coming in here, right? Because our internal feminine is the energy that is connected to our intuition. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of different, I'm seeing many branches of a singular tree. So masculines, you might be at a crossroads in your life where you have many different things you can choose to walk towards, choose to work on. You know, I'm just going to spitball some of the messages that are coming out and we'll see which one is the loudest. A part of what's blocking reconciliation with your external divine feminine or masculine is this journey that you have to reconcile within the self. I don't know what that specifically looks like for you. This could be reconciling your childhood, reconciling your relationship with your parents, learning how to individuate from sort of our family of origin narratives and stories that we picked up along the way. It could be reconciling your own connection to higher self, connection to your creativity, your passion, connection to the thing you are meant to build in this life. Something about masculines. Did some of you really spend most of your lives nurturing other people, places, and things? It's time for you to return home to self and nurture the parts of self that ignite your soul, right? We can only pour into everyone's cup until eventually ours is completely empty, right? And when we hit that moment, there's nothing left to give. So if you've been feeling like a lack of inspiration or a lack of movement in your life, it makes sense to me because you're exhausted. You're exhausted from building all of these things, doing all of these things for everyone else. It's up to you to sort of turn inward, and I'm very drawn to this animals card. And it's funny, I don't normally love this card. There's an animal card in all of my decks. I have like a million decks. And for me, it's calling us back to this primitive, instinctual animal body, right? What are animals concerned with in the wild? They're concerned with food and shelter and safety. That's their daily ritual. Taking care of self, sleeping, eating, fornicating, if that's part of the thing, that's it. And so masculines, if you've been sort of the wayward child for quite a long time, your only criteria right now is to just take care of the animal body, take care of your physical vessel, your food, your water, your shelter, your and who you let into those things, right? Who you let into your home, both internal and physical home. All right. We need more. The message, like I said, it feels very flat, and also there's a lot of noise. It's almost like when you're tuning into a radio station and you could hear the radio station that you want, but you might get some interference and there's some other music from another station coming in. It's a little bit like that today. So let's see what's going on. Where do we want to go, Spirit? Where do we want to go? Thank you. Bear with me. I'm just going to do a quick shuffle. Okay, Spirit, is there a specific question you want me to ask, or just in general? Thank you. All right, we have snake, we have premonition. Anything else? Yep, we're getting a confirmation message here. Part of what you need to do to initiate this new beginning in your life, masculines, is to release. And part of that releasing, being able to release something, we have to know what we're... Sorry, I just had an avalanche. In order to release, we have to know what we're releasing, right? So part of your work is to allow yourself to just feel. Allow yourself, when you're safe at home, in your body, in your house, in your wherever you are, to really ground in your truth, to allow the truth to bubble up to the surface. All right. Are we taking all of these? We're taking all of these. We have intuition, we have behavior patterns, rites of passage, and we have go for it, reaching your dreams. I'm just going to put that off camera because there's no room. Okay. I in my heart, I asked about the new beginning and really, what is this about? What are we doing here? Yeah, let's honor our shadow position. Let's honor that, something you're pushing into the shadows is some form of transformation. Listen, it's really hard. As much as we want the new thing, the new relationship, the new career, the job, the new friendship, the new whatever, it's really hard to make space for new things in our life when we haven't let go of the old, masculines. Okay. So there's something here about you taking accountability for what is it time to release. In order to shed your old skin and have this rebirth, you're going to have to let go and integrate the current liminal experience, right? The liminal is the space between. It's like the old world has died, but the new world has not yet been reborn. And so we're sort of floating in this it's like if a butterfly left the cocoon too soon, and then they, their wings wouldn't be fully formed. They would probably die, I'm assuming. I don't know anything about butterfly life cycles, but I'm assuming that if you opened up a cocoon prematurely, they wouldn't be done cooking in there, right? They wouldn't be through that really incredible metamorphosis that happens, okay? So don't rush it, masculines. This is a rite of passage. This is, it's funny. I think it's really easy on this spiritual path, masculines, to identify the really obvious lessons, identify the really obvious hero's journey. But sometimes when you're in a more introspective phase, or when you're not taking maybe as much action as you have in the past, I think we can sometimes forget that too is a hero's journey. It's a rite of passage that you are being called to go inward. It might not look like an external, like you're building something for your job, or you're having that relationship, or you're traveling, or it might not look important because it's not external action based. However, you are traveling internally. You are healing the relationship with self. You are healing your self-esteem. You are stoking the embers of your internal passions, your creativity. You are getting ready to birth something, but you don't have enough gas in the tank to make the vehicle go. So this is a really important time that you're steeping within yourself so that you can reconcile anything that has been left. You're like closing old loops. You are kind of cleaning up your internal interior castle. Okay, let me just see what's in the unconsciousness. Unconscious position. I don't know why I said unconsciousness. Okay, we have food, nourishment, relationships, health. Again, this is the animal card. This is like return to your inner animal. Just take care. This is chop wood, carry water. Wake up, drink a glass of water, take care of your body, showered, hygiene. This is like bare bones, go for a walk, maybe journal masculines, maybe, have tea with a friend, or just have tea, sitting in front of a beautiful landscape or at a cafe and watch the people go by. This is a time to really take care of your health. Move your body, maybe explore a new movement of body. If you always go to the gym, maybe try going for a walk in nature. Or if you always go for a walk in nature, maybe try going like dancing or something that sort of will be like this radical discontinuity, this sort of really, do something you wouldn't do normally. If you have an impulse, maybe go in the opposite direction of that impulse just to mix it up a little bit, okay? There's a whole nother branch of this tree coming through. I get these readings from time to time where they're just like one full narrative struggles to develop and there's like a million mini narratives. The other narrative that's coming through is in this time of maintaining your animal instincts and nurturing your primitive self, your primate self. Something is happening, something is alchemizing and transforming out of your awareness. So a part of what's in the shadow, it's a nod to this, part of what's in the shadow is transformation. So transformation is happening outside of your control of it. That's really beautiful. Honestly, enjoy it. It's like set it and forget it. Like things are working for you that you don't have to do. So all your only job is to provide safety for yourself, provide stability, take care of the body, because this is a really specific message for some of the masculine collective here. As you heal this sort of inner feminine, as you reconcile whatever this is with these other parts of self, it's going to affect your self-esteem. And when your self-esteem increases, so does your intuition. And for a very small percentage of you, it's going to increase your psychic abilities, your ability to intuit. I mean, maybe some of you will have actual gifts come online. Maybe some of the clair gifts, claircognizant, clairsentient, clairaudient. There's a lot of different clair gifts. You could always Google those if you don't know what those are. But they're different ways of perceiving the world. I would say I'm clairsentient. I have clear feeling. I feel people before they say what they're going to say. I feel the situation. And that's why sometimes doing these oracle readings, sometimes my body is going through an entire process and I have to do the interesting work of trying to concoct a story. But I think what's really important here, masculines, is that you honor and recognize that sometimes your felt experience of something or your perception as it increases on this path, you may not have words to describe what is going on. This is really important, and it doesn't mean that it's not happening. It doesn't mean that something's wrong. It means that you are becoming more spirit than matter. You are becoming one that travels in these other realms, in these other energies. And it's up to you to just surrender. You could set intentions if you don't feel comfortable with this new world. I mean, look at this. We have this mystery and intuition card, full moon, right? It illuminates the darkness here. Your job is to surrender to the mystery and trust in your instincts. Thank you, Spirit. I just made the connection. We have these animal cards and we have this wolf right here. I mean, we also have a snake, but the sort of predator animal energy is very loud right now. So trust your inner animal, trust your instincts, trust your intuition will guide you in darkness, whatever flavor of darkness that might be. Okay. Where else should we go, Spirit? Let me get one of these quick cards. Anything else? Okay. We have dreams and make a wish. I'm actually going to read this one. Okay, masculines. There is a fine line between a conscious state and a dreaming state. During your dreaming state, your dreams can represent premonitions. That's a second mention of premonitions, by the way, and your psychic abilities. So we're on target here. During your dreaming state, your dreams can represent premonitions as well as simple energy outlets for your underlying thoughts and concerns. Now is the time, masculines, to pay careful attention to your dreams. Keeping a dream journal, whether verbal or written, will help you to recall your dreams. It will also provide a frame or reference that can help you decipher the messages and themes that guides you and your higher self, and that your higher self want to share with you. Your dreams may be trying to tell you something important about how you really feel about things that go on in your life when you are awake. These may be feelings that you do not fully understand or ones that you may be trying to ignore. Okay, another version. Yes, could be dream state, but it could also be this new, whatever your intuitive state. Sometimes I with my, I want to share this mini story really quick. When I talk to my other magical friends who live unconventional lives and who are also channelers and healers and coaches and teachers and all these magical people in my life, we all sort of have the same consensus that when we are in a state of channeling, we are in an altered state. There's something that happens. It's the difference of standing in a river and then allowing the river to take you. That's the best way I could probably describe it, right? There's there's the version of you that's anchored in the river. The water's rushing by your legs and you're not surrendered to the river. And then there's another state when you just lie on your back and you float down the river and the river carries you. And for me, that's almost what it feels like channeling. It's not that I'm looking around, reaching for something. It's that I learn how to quiet myself enough to just honor what's already here. And so masculines, there's something here about allowing the dream state to carry you like a river. There's something in it for you. And mind you, it might not necessarily be the content. Sure, that's the obvious thing, of course, the narrative that you are dreaming about or whatever's going on in your dream. But the secondary gift is also learning how to just work with dreams and surrender and not to try to reach and make meaning for something, but allow the vision, allow the symbols, allow the experiential dreams to work on you. That's one of the biggest gifts my very close friend, soul sister, gave me. Instead of reaching outward and trying to make meaning, of really to surrender yourself, empty your vessel, and let the dream work on you. There's no rush here, right? And we can't rush meaning, especially if we are in this sort of ascension process where we haven't yet become the people that can decipher these things, right? We're in a process of becoming masculines. This is so deeply important. Okay, in the unconscious position, we have gratitude. Yeah, this goes back to taking care of the body. This goes back to chop wood, carry water, of like, bring all of your loving awareness to your life as it is. Just try to find gratitude for the little things in your life. Even if you wish to be somewhere else, doing something else with someone else, building something else, try to call all of your energy and presence and awareness back into present time and just have gratitude for what's moving through. Okay, masculines? Is there anything else, Spirit? I'm getting emotional. So let's just be with that for a moment. I'm getting emotional looking at this gratitude card. Just celebrating. And by the way, this is my New Orleans deck. And in New Orleans, I don't know very much culture. It's funny, my mom's actually going there on Thursday, but I know very minimal about the culture. But what I do know is that they celebrate everything. They celebrate life. They celebrate death. They have music and dancing during a death procession. There's so much, an abundance of honoring the human spirit, whether we perceive the scenario as good or bad. There's such an honoring here. It's a really beautiful quality. There's some cultures out there that actually they grieve when a child is born, and they celebrate when someone dies, because they grieve when a child is born because they are grieving for that child, that they are separated from source, that they left the divine. And so I think it's very interesting to sort of flip these things on our heads to realize, like, we are in the dream now. This is the dream, right? When we die, we wake up to our our infinite consciousness, this infinite quantum thing that we are. And so really learning how to work with dreams is really like learning how to come into relationship with our what we call waking consciousness, right? With our the life that we're living, the 3D matter life. Wow, masculine's very beautiful reading. I'm gonna cut it kind of there. Let me get a quick you know what? No, we're going to get an animal card. Just going to pick one at random. Not even going to look. What do we have here? Lizard, regeneration. Another regeneration, like snake card here. As a survivor, you are unparalleled, masculines. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. Lizards and snakes, what do they have in common? They both shed their skin. This is such a confirmation, masculines. Like, you're doing everything right. I think the only other thing you are being asked to do is to be kinder to yourself during this process, to call upon grace when you are struggling, when you want to be somewhere else other than where you are. Again, to take care of your body, to nourish yourself, to nourish your relationships, your health, your sleep. Like, really take ownership over these things. Okay, let me just get one affirmation. You know what? I'm just going to pick. Hold on. If I could pick up the card, I would show it to you. Here we go. Okay, we have, I am an active participant in my life. It says, masculines, play an active role in your life by accepting that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you always have control over your decisions and choices. Take pride in your ability to facilitate change and own your responses to every experience, both the good and the bad. This is echoing this gratitude card. Again, it's like, we do have free will, and all we can do, all that we are responsible for in our life is what's happening on our side of the street. Right? It's not our jobs to go over to someone else's side of the street and try to control that or what their responses are or whatever they're doing. All we can do is take radical accountability for our choices, our actions, and our responses to what's going on our side of the street. All right, I'm going to leave it there, masculines. I hope this was supportive, and I will see you in the next one.